All right-aroo, Witharmour Knives here. The WA066BK. I think it was $39.99. That's why it was $43.23 overall. I looked at my order details. So I've seen this knife a year and a half ago or so. Witharmour, they contacted me and this and that, and I looked, and this was the knife I really wanted, but it wasn't ready, and they didn't have it in production or whatever. I don't know. So, I mean, I think they sent me like a PDF with their brochure, etc. And this was the knife I wanted, but that's not the knife I reviewed. I reviewed the Torpedo and several others, and then later they released a couple of knives at Dylan Mallory, who did the Archeo for Artisan Cutlery, and some other knives for Artisan. They released those knives, but those knives had been on the burner for a long time, even before he came out with the Archeo. So that's at least what Dylan told me. So Witharmour Knives, you can get these at White Mountain Knives, okay? Not this one, but you can get several of the, so they carry, technically they carry the Witharmour brand. To me, these look like Master Cutlery production knives. Master Cutlery, to me, is kind of gas station, mall ninja. They're really, I don't even think, in my mind, no, they're not Ganzo. They're not even that good. This is not terribly smooth. It has a little initial drop, but then the rest of it's tough. Feels a little gritty, tough. I'm going to take this apart and kind of look and see if I can help this out. But this is all steel here, and this is G10, and it's kind of heavy. So let's kick this on. But you know, I like the knives that Dylan did for him, and I like the design of this. It's just, and this is under 5 ounces, so it's not horrible, but it just seems heavy for what it is. 138 grams. And it is kind of a fatty, about almost 7/10, 0.68 of an inch thick, 17.3 millimeters, but about, you know, 3.1 millimeter blade, 0.12 of an inch. So nothing too heavy there. And I don't know if it'll even, what are we doing here? Let's cut some paper. Okay. Supposed to be a D2 blade. So I'm going to have that checked. I'm definitely sending this in for a PMI to see if this is real D2. Backspacer is nice and thick and chunky and well done. It's got some jimping on it. It's got room for a lanyard hole, all that. Flipper tab, no jimping on it. It's kind of tall, but not too bad, but it could come down a 1/16 of an inch. Kicks out okay, nothing great. The detent's not overly aggressive, that's for sure. Let me see if I can, okay, yeah. It's really easy to just push this out. Look at that. Yeah. I mean, you gotta take the full stroke on that flipper tab to kick that out. So maybe more like a 3 point something on this as far as detent goes. So nothing to brag about. Let me see. Yeah, oh yeah, I got that one to come out just like that. Yeah, that's definitely below a 4. And you can finger flick it, which is nice. Okay, and that's helpful when the detent's that light to finger flick. I love the design, and it's about, I mean, it's about right for just a normal EDC carry. 3.5 inches, 8 inches overall, so a little over about 20.5 centimeters, 90, maybe, yeah, 90 millimeters, somewhere in there, plus or minus a couple for the blade length. So it's pretty standard there. There's your lockup, 20% maybe. I'm not getting any blade play or lock rock, and it's centered. So nothing big there as far as, you know, what I'm going to bitch and moan about. But here's the Witharmour box. I'm just saying, if I was Witharmour, and if Witharmour is not related, if it's not related to Master Cutlery, I'd pull my production, I'd go somewhere else. I'd go let Civivi make my knives, or even Ganzo, because you know that new Free Tiger knife, the FT903. I swear to God, Ganzo's making that knife, and it's a great knife. I really like it. So here's your warranty and stuff. I'll see if I can give you a link to their website. But you know, Amazon is where traditionally I've looked at their knives, although White Mountain has their brand. So they have some of these Witharmour knives available, not this one. And so if you want this one, you might contact Justin at White Mountain and say, are you going to get some of these? Can you get some of these? He may not even be aware of this model that's out now. So, and then you could use your 10% LTK discount, and you're not paying tax. So if it's $39.99, get 10% off and not pay a 9% tax or whatever, you're much better off. So, ergos are fine. You know, they're all right. I could definitely feel this. And if we're going to bitch and moan, let's keep going down the bitch trail. Because this drives me crazy, but this happens on a lot of knives, okay? Have you ever, and maybe look at some of your other knives. Look at this screw here and look at the screw here. Why can you not back this up and get rid of this extra screw and just make this do double duty? So many knives have a screw right near the end, correct? I mean, even deep carry, there's a screw right here, okay? Why can this screw not do double duty as the top screw here? Then you can get rid of that bottom screw, and instead of 3 screws in a row, you only have 2. Why can you not do that? Is that impossible? This is the Kicker by CJRB, so a whole different lock system. Talk about that later, that's for sure. But, so yeah, that kind of drives me berserk. It's, why? What's the purpose? Why not? And so then you don't have, you can have it prepped here for that to be able to flip. So you can do this left and right hand at least, okay? You got entree on this side, and the hardware is definitely not anything overly fancy. Back side, lock bar side, there's no entree there at all, so hopefully we don't spin this when we try and unlock this. Yeah, but I'd take a look, see, we're going to look inside. Well, there's cutaway under here. See where this goes. So, I mean, I was going to say skeletonize the liners, but obviously they skeletonized all the way through. So, but, oh, the design, yeah, I really, really like. That's why I got this knife. And that's what draws me to a knife initially. And then you get it in your hand, and you're going, either oh hell yes or oh hell no. And this is an oh hell no. I just overall, and I do feel this pocket clip. See, and that just kind of struts up in the air, doesn't it? See that? Because you've got the way this is set up. And I don't know. I mean, you can feel that pocket clip. You can feel all of them after a while, but that's particularly obnoxious. And I like the way they did it from a design standpoint. It just needs to be moved up here, and it'll get a little bit more out of your way to begin with. But other than that, maybe this rise didn't have to be so tall right there either. Okay, you could have taken that down a notch. Maybe put a ball on there. That would be really cool, like a ceramic ball in there. So, just me. But yeah, ergos are fine other than the pocket clip. Reverse carry is fine. Pass-through's jimped here, so it's not difficult to disengage this liner lock. And that's fine. That's good. The design flows nicely. I love the design, of course. And blade to handle length is plenty adequate right there. That's great. So no bitching and moaning there. So let's see if we can kick this thing apart and just take a look inside. Maybe I can cure some of the ills on the drop, because it just doesn't feel like it's that compliant or smooth in any way, shape, or form. At least it looks stone washed on the liners and this and that, so it looks like, I mean, there's no real gotchas as far as that's concerned, from what I can tell when I put my hands on it. There's no sharp edges or anything grabbing me. Come off there, you. Well, at least it's going to come apart, which is a good thing. And there's probably my stop. And here's the outer bar that runs across. And here's the inner scale. And so that's nothing remarkable there. At least it does have some texturing on here. Interesting. Whoever designed it, I think, did a good job in the design work. And here's the liner. It looks stone washed, and it's not edgy or crappy or anything. Ooh, there's our... Why did we need a steel washer when we got a steel liner? Tell me that. I wonder if taking that out might make it actually better. Does that seem sensible? There's the bearings. They're just standard, you know, standard bearings of you'd get on any kind of a knife, especially the more budget-oriented ones. I don't care if they're steel or ceramic, so that doesn't bother me there. It's, yeah. Well, there was some debris in there, and so hopefully that will, that cleaned up will give us a little bit better action on this knife. I'll send this in and get this tested. They're saying it's D2. This is fine. There's your back spacer that comes off, goes on, whatever, and there's your pocket clip and setup from the other side, which, you know, I just wanted to look inside, so I don't need to disassemble every part of this knife. So that's fine. We did half. At least we got into the guts and got to take a look. Can't really figure out why we have the access screw in the front when this would be more seamless to actually come through the front, and this would be the working side going on the back. That just seems to make more sense to me. And I'm really not getting that either. Let me see this. Okay, so we have a little steel washer on the inside of the presentation liner, but we don't have a steel washer here on the back side, on the lock bar side. I'm thinking they just shimmed that because it wasn't centered. Maybe they screwed up in manufacturing and it just was, I don't know. So I'm going to take this out and see if it throws it off center or if it really makes a difference. I mean, who cares, right? Come here. Let's throw this through. Will it come through either way? Yeah, okay. So I can make it a cleaner look on the front just having it there. I don't know why I can't do it like that. And let's put a liner on here first. Then let's put some bearings on top. Put some pivot lube up here. A little. Get my blade stop in here. Put the blade down. Put bearings. Put lube. Now, this thing doesn't sit down in the back like it does in the front, so this has to go in the front. Okay, well, it was worth a shot. Put the long screw in this side, I guess. That's what it's going to take. Longest screw. Next longest screw, because this is going into the back spacer. So and the shortest screw, because this is just going into the liner, and so that's all it's doing. It's going from the G10 into the liner to secure that. Let me see where we are. We're way off center. Okay, let's see if we can. Oh yeah, we had something to go here. That's better. Still relatively centered. We got play? No. That's some better action on it than it was, thank God. Not much, but a little bit better. And yes, first of all, I was going to put this through the front side, and no, because this cap screw or button top, whatever, stood up above here. It wouldn't sink in, so there's only one way that was going to go. And also then that extra steel washer or shim, whatever, I put it back. After I put this back together, it just wouldn't, I was getting blade play. I couldn't lock it down hard enough, so it did need that little shim on this side, which isn't really a point to brag about your machining expertise when you got to put a shim in there because somehow you missed on your calculations. There shouldn't need a shim in there when you got these steel liners, and you didn't have one on the other side, so that steel washer shouldn't be necessary, but it is, and it centers it, and it makes it a lot more compliant when you do that. So I took it back apart, I put it back in, all that. So the Witharmour WA066BK. I love the design, love to see this done in a more competent package, but this is inexpensive, 39 bucks. So it is, might be worth your while. I'm going to have the D2 tested. If the D2 is real and if the HRC is real, is decent, maybe. Because I'm not telling anybody what to buy or what not, but I think there's going to be some people chime in and go, get a damn Ganzo. It's like $24, and it's definitely nicer drop, better put together, and all that. So, yeah, and I'm not going to disagree with that. I'm just going to let you go. I'm out of here. Thank you so much. And you know what we do. We love them knives. It says so right there. You guys stay sharp.